guys, welcome and thank you for joining me today. I'm like shaking. I'm so nervous and I don't know why, because this is what I do. I talk and I advocate. Nick's sleeping in the background, so I'm going to be very distracted. What's new? So I've been trying to think of a way to tell you guys my story without just sitting and talking. And because it's like really nerve-wracking, I thought a good way to do it would be to add a calming piece to it. So I came up with this idea to do like a my story makeup challenge or art challenge, which I'll get more into later. The hopes I have with this video is to kind of briefly explain the diagnoses I've gotten or things I've experienced, just so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. And obviously some of these things I'm going to do dedicated videos on, but I don't know, some of you guys are here that don't really know me. I've done a lot of research on ribbons and colors for certain mental illnesses or just certain things that need awareness. I have a list of stuff that I've experienced throughout my life or I'm still experiencing. I want my makeup to be focused on these so-called bad things, the things that society makes us feel like we need to hide, or the things that make our daily lives super difficult and not, again, not normal. I'm like so nervous. I'm gonna try my best. I have no idea what I'm going to do yet, which, surprise, planning. I just want this to show that the things that people think are ugly or, again, bad aren't. Like, there's beauty in all of these things. Everything we go through makes us who we are. I'm a firm believer that you have the choice every day to let something ruin you and make you a bad person, or to learn from it and let it make you a better person. So I hope this shows you guys that, like I said, even the ugly is beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna just do my eyebrows quickly to get started. I'm like shaking so much. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I don't start with that product. I'm so out of it right now. Oh my god. Wow, this is so nerve-wracking. This palette smells so good. Yeah. Not my best, but not my worst. I probably should have said this earlier, but I am not at all a makeup artist. I'm just someone who really loves playing with makeup, and I find it super calming. I'm gonna try my best, but it might not turn out well. It might turn out like a mess, but that's the other side of it, right? Like, this stuff is a mess. It's beautiful, but it's a mess. The first thing I'm gonna do is prime my eyes because I get very, very oily eyelids. It's the one part of my face that does get very oily, so I need to prime. Sorry, just looking at myself in the mirror because I'm hot. I'm gonna be such a cringy mom. Not mad about it though. I don't usually put concealer over top, but I think I will today, just because I'm using a lot of color. This could mess it all up, but oh well. Update, I've also undone my pants because, well, why not? Hey, good night. I'm just gonna hydrate my lips quickly. I don't have nails, I don't know how to get this out. Okay, so I think the way I'm gonna do this is kind of go down in like order of when things were diagnosed or when things happened. I'm like hiding. ADHD. I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was, I think in grade 5. Like, I'm gonna try and keep these short and sweet, and like I said, I will do videos on as many as I can, and if there are ones that you guys really want to see, please let me know and I can do those sooner or go into more detail with certain things. So the ribbon colors for ADHD, I got mixed. I got orange and purple. Those were the two, and I couldn't find, it was like equal between the two. So I think what I'm going to do is use a little bit of orange and a little bit of purple. So I think I'm going to start with orange just because it might be a better Oh, actually, maybe I'll put that in my inner corner. So the palette I'm going to be using for most of the colors is this No Name palette from I think Amazon that I got years ago when I first started getting into makeup. I'm just flicking you guys off here, no big deal. So yeah, I got diagnosed in grade 5, and grade 5 was a lot of things for me. It was so helpful at that age to know that I wasn't just someone who couldn't focus or whatever. Like, it was super helpful to know that there was actually something that had a reason behind it, I guess, which that's why I'm a firm believer in doing your research and getting to know your struggles, because you can really learn what's going to work and why things are happening. And at least for me, it makes me feel so much less crazy, which that's such a, I don't know, I don't like using that word because I know a lot of people feel like, why would you call yourself crazy and stuff, and I know a lot of people with mental illnesses and just other mental health issues feel like it's, I don't know, I feel like it's a bad word, but I feel like I got called it so much and felt it so much that I embraced it. I embraced the craziness and knew that if I wasn't crazy like I am, I wouldn't be as cool, as cool of a person as I am today. And so, you want to call me crazy? Sure. I mean, crazy's gotten me pretty far, I'd like to think, so I'm not too mad about it. I am not on medication for ADHD. I've actually been thinking about going on it before university because I really want to make sure I'm focusing and, you know, staying on top of things. That's when I got diagnosed. I remember things about girls being on medication with ADHD because of our hormones, I think. People don't realize how hard it is to actually live with it. It takes a lot out of you, and it takes a lot out of relationships too. People are so focused on these other illnesses, which is fine, obviously, and why wouldn't you? But I feel like ADHD is one of those ones that does get overlooked a lot, and so I'm really happy that I got to talk about it. Am I a beauty guru now? This is gonna be one wacky look, but I love it. My next diagnosis was anxiety. Now, when I got diagnosed with it, it was also with ADHD, but it was mild at that point. But I really struggled with it in high school. Anxiety and depression were my main one, and I'll get into depression, but yeah, anxiety became a really, really, really big thing for me. So the anxiety color is teal. I don't know where we're gonna put this. Actually, I'm gonna go do my under eyes quickly so I can put stuff on my under eye. Yes, so anxiety. Anxiety's teal. Did I say that? I did. So I'm also gonna add extra teal. I never got diagnosed, but looking back now, I feel like, looking into it, I feel like I had some symptoms of panic disorder, but also I know that some of them were just regular panic attacks. But either way, I wanted to add the panic disorder color, which is teal, just because panic attacks in general were just such a big thing for me growing. Sorry. Ooh, that is a bright color. Okay. I experienced my first real big panic attack in grade 7, I think. I got stuck in an elevator at school. We had an elevator for handicap with 2 boys and maybe a girl. If not, it was another boy. It was terrifying, and I knew I was gonna be fine. We were on a floor. It was so scary, especially having never really experienced like a true blue panic attack. I don't know, this is really hard to talk about. I don't know why. It was terrifying. Panic attacks take so much out of you. And I remember that day, I might have even gone home because I was so tired. That took so much out of me to panic like that. You feel like you're having a heart attack. I will never forget that feeling. And like I said, I've had many panic attacks before, but that one was just, it was something else because it was the first one. It's one thing I'll never forget. And I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed to go to school after that because I thought people were going to make fun of me. I remember just feeling so scared because I was crying, I was shaking when I got out. I like fell to the floor because I was just so happy to be out. Yeah, and I've experienced panic attacks since then. I feel like it was that time that it was more of a panic disorder than just regular panic attacks, because after that I was so scared of getting them all the time. I would do everything to prevent it, and I would also just get them at random times. Like I would start to get them, and the minute I got anxious, I would get so scared of getting a panic attack that I would get a panic attack because I would work myself up so much about what's considered the smallest things. I would just go full panic, and even if it was something that had maybe caused me some anxiety before, it was panic attack. I experienced a lot through high school. Even for a while, working out or going to dance was super hard. I guess I should do my makeup while I'm talking. Even going to dance was super hard for a while because getting like my heartbeat up that high would make my body think that we were going into a panic attack, and it was just exhausting, and it was frustrating, and I didn't know why my body was doing that to me because I loved dance. I loved where I danced. I went on medication for anxiety in I think it was grade 9, for anxiety and depression. I was on Cipralex, and I found that Cipralex was good. It made me feel very, like, gave me a lot of highs, but when the lows came, they were low. Like, I would go straight to I want to die, and there was no in between. It was either really good or really bad, and it would also be the littlest things that would set me off. It took me off of that, and then I've been on Zoloft ever since, and I think it's doing better. Still some days better than others, but it's definitely better, and I will get into that. And then high school, it got bad again. I would stay home just from anxiety. I would refuse to go into school. I would have to either get my brother, when he was there, like my older brother, to walk me in when we got there, or I'd have to get someone from Resource to come down and get me. Yeah, it's a lot, and so many people suffer from it, and that's why I don't understand why it's so stigmatized, because almost everybody suffers from anxiety at one point in their life or another, whether it's severe anxiety, like diagnosed, or whether it's just anxiety from a situation. Everyone suffers from anxiety. So why are we so worried to talk about it? Why is it such a big deal to talk about it? Grade 5, I mean throughout my life, but especially grade 5, I got bullied super bad by this one guy, and it was all about my weight and my body hair. I realized not everybody is going to treat you with kindness and respect. That was hard for me because I was and am such a caring, giving person. To realize that at such a young age really breaks your spirits. So the color ribbon for bullying is blue. I'm going to do a little bit of blue and pink. I'm going to do pink as blush, so we'll do that later. I baked because this is going to get messy, I think. I should have thought of that sooner. So the next thing would be depression, and that probably stemmed in grade 7 and 8, I would say, but really got bad in high school, where again I would just not go to school because I just couldn't get myself out of bed. And oh wait, the color is green, by the way. What was really frustrating for me in high school was the amount of teachers that thought I just wasn't trying, or that I didn't care and, you know, left class too much. But what I expressed a lot of times to these teachers was, you have no idea how much it takes out of me just to get out of bed and get to school. Like, that's 75% of my energy for the day, is just getting out of bed and just being here, and that's enough for me. I'm sorry that that's not enough for you. That was frustrating, to feel like I was a bad student just because it took me a lot more energy than a lot of people to get out of bed. And depression is another one that people struggle with more than you realize. And like anxiety, you can either have severe depression, or you could just, you know, go through depressive phases when something happens in your life. And again, why aren't we talking about it if it's something that almost everyone goes through at one point or another? Going back to dance, that was very frustrating for me when I had no interest in any of those things that I wanted to have interest in, that I had interest in before. I had so many issues just going to dance, even though I loved it and I loved being there. When I was really depressed, I had no intention or no motivation to get myself out of bed just to go to dance. That numbness, I'm so low. That numbness you feel when you're depressed, It's truly unexplainable unless you have it. Suicide. Wow. The color for suicide awareness is yellow. That's the ribbon color. Now, I suffered with suicidal thoughts for a long time, but I wouldn't say they got that bad until high school, like worrisome until high school. I was never hospitalized, and the main reason for that was because I'm very fortunate to have a very safe home and have people that I can talk to and that don't judge me or make me feel even worse. I had one really close call in grade 9 or 10, I think, and my friend was on the phone, and I love her for it, and I'll text her after this and thank her again. It's like an out-of-body experience. So when you kind of snap out of it, it's so hard to talk about because you can't even explain it, and it's also something you don't want to talk about. I had multiple thoughts throughout high school, and they'd get really bad. Sometimes they were just, if something went wrong, I was like, I could just end it, and that was just the thought. But my God, what got me through was thinking about all these people that had fought so hard to keep me here. Why would I do that to them? And why would I do that to myself? Why would I do that to myself when there is so much more than this moment? There is so much more than high school. There's a whole life after high school. There's a whole world after high school. I had another really bad, let's call it episode. I would say when Nick and I first started dating, I made the decision to take myself off of my medication. Tip, don't do that unless you consult with a doctor first. I spiraled. I could not function. I was either crying uncontrollably or numb to the very highest extent. I was tired. I was done with me giving so much good into the world, putting so much good into the world, and just feeling like I was getting crap all back. And I know I'm lucky. I know, because I'm such an empath. I felt like it was selfish and wrong of me to feel all these things when there were people that actually had issues. So yeah, I remember that night clearly, and I had gone to dance to tell one of my dance teachers that I think I was gonna go to the hospital. One of my friends actually came over after with a smile cookie from Tim Hortons. Again, we'll text her after this, and just cried. We're friends and I adore her, and man, that made us so much closer. But it wasn't somebody that, you know, we weren't in the same friend group. We didn't go to the same school for most of high school. And for her to be the one that came over and drove me to the hospital, and then when I decided not to go in, she was like, okay, let's go home, and stayed up so late with me. Like, be that friend. Just please be that friend. I'm gonna say kind of the next thing was my eating habits, more or less, if not kind of with everything. I've got this like big bump right here. Around the same time, like high school, I really struggled with eating. The color for anorexia is periwinkle. I wouldn't diagnose myself with anorexia, but it's definitely the same road. And then the eating disorder color in general is purple, so I might do a little bit of both just to see. When I was on Cipralex, I totally lost appetite. I would have like a piece of bread a day. Like, that was my food. When I started to lose weight because of it, I got so many compliments about how good I was looking. When I changed to Zoloft, I felt like I'd struggled with my weight for so long. The problem is I'm Greek, so before that, food, no way you're getting me away from that. But once this opportunity came about, I felt like I'm gonna seethe. Why would I go back to my previous weight if everybody's noticing me now? If I'm more beautiful now? I was crabby, let me tell you that. Is this gonna be a bad idea? I don't know, whatever. Maybe I should do my face makeup now. Okay. I was quite crabby, and Nick will say this too. I was so hangry all the time. The amount of times Nick had to say, "Oh, she's just hungry," and it was just natural for him. I've been doing better. I'm eating, still sometimes a struggle, which, I mean, you know, fluctuates with everything. I said this in one of my Instagram posts, but it's funny how our mind plays tricks on us. Like, looking back at old photos, I was very skinny. Not as skinny as some people get. You know, I look back and I still, like, I saw the weight I'm at now. But that's how eating issues happen and work, is you never think you're at the right weight. I've been trying to deal with that and try and focus on that. Even if I got back down to that weight, I still wouldn't be happy. It has nothing to do with my weight. It has to do with my mind and the way I view myself. This looks like I got bruised. Told you this might not work, but hey, mess, art, mental illness. Also, I lied. When I do foundation, I do foundation first and then concealer. So it looks really bad. Plus with all the powder, I messed up, but that's okay. I'm going to add stuff over top, so I'm not super worried about it. So next thing is, I don't know if I've actually really talked about this ever. I started self-harming in grade 11, I think. Oh my god, there's a hair. I started seeing a therapist specifically for behaviors like that. I started doing DBT with him. I'm a year and a half clean, which is, wow. It's like suicide in the sense that you're not thinking about other things, you're thinking about this one thing. And then what happened to me is in the morning I'd wake up and forget about it. Like, I would feel like a completely different person because I was just so overcome with emotions and thoughts and voices. You want to feel something, but the thing is that release does so much more harm than good. Even after a year and a half, there are some days where my first thought is I should self-harm. And some days it's more intense than others, but that's what people don't tell you about recovery, is that it's a long road and it's not just you're a year clean and you're fine. And that's what I sat down with my therapist talking about that and just felt like I feel like I should be fine now. I feel like I should be okay. And that took a lot of time to get over. Oh yeah, self-harm is orange, and orange for self-injury and red for addiction, so I don't really know which one. I'm gonna do a little bit of both. This is a good idea. I don't know. Okay, so next is, this is like really artsy. I like it. I mean, that's the point, but the next is PTSD and sexual assault. I mean, obviously little things here and there that happen that unfortunately a lot of people go through, but there was one incident that really changed my life. So they're both teal, so I need to add more teal. I don't know where yet. I might do it on my lip. Yeah, why not? That just, it changed my life, that one incident, because it changes who you are. It changes everything about you, and it looks like a mustache. I don't like that. Too late. Just trying to be artsy. This is what happens. I hate this. Now I gotta go with it. It's gotta happen now. It completely changes your life, and not only for me, not only sexually, but all my relationships. The big thing for me with my PTSD was trust. You feel as if, man, this ruined it, didn't it? It completely ruined it. I had such a nice vision in my head. That's all right. We'll figure it out. What was I saying? So distracted by my popsicle lips. Again, some days are easy, some days aren't. There will be random times where it'll hit me, and some days I'm fine. Some days I don't want to get out of bed because of it. Yeah, and people don't talk about it enough because oh, that's what I was saying before. There's all that stigma of what were you wearing, and you know, were you, like, you put yourself in that situation, and I felt that guilt for so long, and I finally had to realize that me putting in my trust into someone is not my fault. Because you should trust people. You should be able to not be assaulted. Can you guys take me seriously right now? Because I can't take myself seriously. Then on the eyes, I'm going to do kind of a blanket term. It's called invisible illness. So just illnesses you can't see that people don't actually have. And the color is either white or peach. I'm just going to do white because I don't know where else to put all this crap. So unless I do white in the inner corner. I might do white in the inner corner. So finishing off the eyes with black for insomnia. That's another one that it's just so misunderstood. I sleep in a lot, and people think just because I sleep in means I sleep. But the thing is it takes me forever to fall asleep, stay asleep. The morning, I'm almost just so tired that my body's like, screw it. I did a test in, I don't know, I think it was like, it might have been middle school, might have been high school, I'm not sure. But I went to go get tested, and like a sleep test, and what they actually found was I have very chopped sleep, so I wake up a lot. Even if it's not fully awake, I wake up, and what that means is I don't get enough REM sleep whatsoever. So, and REM sleep is a sleep that you need to function. So if you're not getting REM sleep, sleep doesn't really, I'm so shaky still. Sleep doesn't really do much if you don't have your REM sleep. Okay, not to toot my own horn, but usually I'm really good at eyeliner. I'm just, of course, struggling today. You know what, that looks crazy. I kind of gave up. Screw it, let's do some fun eyeliner. So let's do the other side. I need to stop. I feel like I was talking about something, but it's okay. Anyways, yeah, insomnia, not easy. We're gonna do some blush. Pink for bullying. It's times like this that I wish I was good at like art, because then I wouldn't do this to my face, but that's fine. And then to finish off, we're just gonna do a little bit more green. I don't know where. Green is mental health, mental illnesses blanket. Let's do eyeliner and highlighter first. Or sorry, lips, no. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do peach and white highlighters. Alright guys, you know what? I'm gonna question posting this, and mostly because I do eyeliner better than this. That's like one of the main reasons. Like, I swear, I'm usually really good at eyeliner. I thought this would be fun for you guys to get to know me, and if anything, it was really fun for me. I haven't like actually played with makeup in a while, and it was fun to just sit there and do that. So yeah, these are my colors. I wear them proudly now. Well, most of them. Some of them I'm still trying to learn. Some of them I'm still been sitting too long. Some of them I'm still trying to learn to wear proudly. It's messy, but it's art, and it's beautiful because it's art. And I hope that this inspires you guys to do the same. This is my goal. I hope it kind of becomes a challenge. Whether it's doing a video or posting a look, or even you guys messaging me and sending them to me of just your eye or just your lips or whatever, and I can post them onto my story so we can get the word around. And it's all about breaking that stigma and being like, yeah, I have this. This this is me. This is me. And take it or leave it. And if you leave it, sucks for you. Sucks for you, because I'm pretty awesome including all these things. Please do this. My story challenge, hashtag it, send it to me. I would just love to see it, even if you guys do an art piece or something. But yeah, use your colors or do an outfit. I don't know, but use your colors and wear them so proudly that nobody's gonna want to mess with you, because you know who you are, you're proud of who you are, and screw anyone who thinks otherwise. This looks a lot better in this lighting, so except that light's on, so that's bothering me, but I want to redo this whole outro. It's getting late. But this is me, and again, I would love to hear from you guys and hear about what things you'd like to hear more about. Let's break the stigma. Let's own who we are and be proud of it and wear it like a cape, because they are our superpowers. They make us who we are. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever else all of the YouTubers say. Okay, so the face looks weird, don't get me wrong, but I'm not mad at these eyes. If you guys need something to do, please do this challenge. It'll be so fun to hear from everyone and see everything. Sending love and hugs and all the good vibes. You feel them? Yeah, there they are. There they are. Okay, I gotta go. Okay, bye.